I am doing a fun video today because of what it means for our state. I have always said, how can the state of Montana, the wild, wild west, have such regulations and restrictions on raw milk? How is that possible? Because previously, for years and years and years, it has been absolutely and completely illegal to sell raw milk in Montana, even as pet food. But not anymore. A new bill has been passed in Montana that allows us to sell raw milk. But there are still some stipulations that we need to be doing to make sure that our milk is safe, to make sure that we have proof that our milk is safe, to make sure that we have proof that our animals are healthy and free from disease. And so it's important that wherever you live, even if you don't live in Montana, that you are following the guidelines, the regulations, and the laws, the rules that surround the sale of raw milk in your state. Sadly, there are still some states where it's illegal to sell raw milk, but I encourage you to join the battle, join the fight with the people that know what they're doing, that are involved in all of that, and help them just do the legwork to get it in front of the people that need to see it so that you can continue to work on getting it legal. So it is legal. Yay! And today I am going to be doing one of the things that is required to make sure that our raw milk is safe. So come along with me and I'll show you what I need to do. So there are two things that I will be testing for in my herd. It is SPC TC and the SCC testing. So the SPC stands for standard plate count, and the TC stands for total coliform count, and then the SCC stands for somatic cell count. So I decided that I am going to also test each of my goat's milk individually. For the two tests that are required for Montana raw milk, it is actually a finished product sampling. So I milk all of my goats into one container, then it's strained and then put into the jars, and we drink from those jars, and it's all the goat's milk combined, and that is actually the sampling that's taken for these two tests. But I also wanted to just get a good idea of just the health of each of my goats individually and the milk that they have. So I'll be getting the samplings from the finished product sample, but also the sampling from each of the goats as well. I know. So the individual goat samples are used to just identify if there's any, or to monitor, I guess, any contagious pathogens or diseases, or to just diagnose the specific pathogen that might be causing mastitis. None of my goats are presenting at least clinical signs of mastitis, and I'm not worried about that, but I wanted to double check and just to make sure that everything's all good with each of my goats. All of my does do have their kids still on them, so I am milking 5 does right now. I do have 6 that eventually I'll be milking total. One of them, Eva, was the one that was bred really late compared to my other ones. My other ones were fall breeders. She just kept going back into heat, and then finally this spring, or early spring, she was bred, and she will be having her babies in August. So I am actually drying her off this week, so I won't be getting any samples from her, but I will be from the 5 others that I am milking right now. But they do have their kids on them right now. So when I milk every morning, I am just double checking to make sure everything's good, and to get the milk, you know, that they have at that moment. Sometimes there's more and sometimes there's less, just depending on when the kids just had suckled, and I'm just then using that milk for our consumption. We make yogurt and all kinds of yummy things. We just drink it, and so we just use that extra milk that I get in the morning. But because the cute baby goats grow up so fast, it's not long and they will be weaned, and then we'll have lots and lots and lots of milk available for us and others. Okay, let's get on with it. Faith is ready. She's groaning at me like, come on. You're not paying attention to me and I don't like it. Let's get going. So what I'm going to do is milk her into my regular milking bucket, and then at the end of milking, because the little piece of paper here says the sample can be taken after milking is complete, so it's generally less disruptive to a normal milking routine and the teat ends are cleaner. So I'm going to go through, get her milked, and then put the milk from each teat into their own separate vial, and we'll go from there. Then do the next goat. So I have my cool little milking bucket here. Everyone always asks me, where did you get it? But the place I got it no longer carries it, and I've not seen any other place that has this half-top milking lid. So I can't give you an option for it anywhere. But I also do use a nut butter bag on the top here. It just keeps all the hair and the debris that might fall down from getting actually into the milk, and so that's been very helpful just in the process of keeping the milk clean from the very beginning. But then I also do strain it one more time when it's put in the jars. Alright, so she didn't actually have too much. The babies did get it right before that, and sometimes that's the case, that she doesn't have as much as other times. This is the nice little box that it came in. All of the vials are in here. I do have a frozen pack. The ones that came with this one are inside the freezer right now, freezing. But just to keep it cool until I get those back in here, I put this one in here. These are the vials that I will take for the samples of where all the milk is combined. The finished product sample will go into these two vials here. And then these are the ones that are used for the individual goat's individual teat. So for Faith, there will be two of them that I will fill. One will be the right side and one the left side. And you're supposed to fill them 2/3 full. Alright, the first thing to note is that each of these samples are going to go directly from the teat into this vial. It recommends that the udder should be clean and dry and to be as sterile as possible. They actually recommend wearing latex gloves while taking the sample. It also says to swab each end of the teat with rubbing alcohol and a cotton swab. And then once I have the sample taken, it's very important that I fill out this label with the proper information. Put the goat's name or their ID and the date, and if it's the left udder, the right udder, and all of that. So I will get the sample now. Let's go. The chicken is going to annoy me greatly. Okay, she's swabbed. So it's really important, and whenever you're taking a sample of anything, that you're not touching the inside of the vial with anything, with your fingers, with their teat. That when you're taking the cap off, you're not setting it with that inside part down to get dirty, that you're not touching the inside of that cap. Basically, don't touch anything that will touch the milk, because any of that can contaminate what's inside the milk. This does make me nervous. I don't want to mess it up. Alright, here is her right teat. Going to put the lid on. It wasn't touched. Inside or outside? And it's safely inside. And then it does say to check for any like obvious contaminants. If there was like debris or something inside of it, you would want to then get rid of this vial and do a new one. So just be careful not to get it dirty inside. Alright, so I need to mark. Alright, this is my dear Faith. Today's date. They expect me to know the date. I have no idea what day it is. Good thing I have a cell phone to tell me what day it is. That chicken is annoying. All right, this one is done. I'm going to put it under in my little box here with the frozen, what are those called? Frozen thing. What are those things called? The frozen thing. This is done. I'm going to now put it inside the little box with the frozen thing, whatever those things are called, to keep it as cool as possible and to get it as cold as possible quickly. And then it will end up being frozen. All right, now we're going to do her left side. There we go. There's Faith's left side, so I'm going to fill out this. Okay, inside my little box to be cooled. Good job, Faith. Faith's always my good sport. She shoves in to be the first one always, and she loves the attention, so she's always a good one to start with. Are you saying you're done with all this? You say hi to everyone. Say hello, everyone. Hello. Which one say hi? No? Olivia here is my gal that had 4 babies a month or so ago, and she's doing amazing. She's taking care of all 4 of the babies, and we get a little bit of milk from her when I milk in the morning, but she's doing good. See what she has for milk, and then at the end I'll get her sample. Olivia was my most wild goat. So I've gotten some messages from several of you that said, have you ever had a goat that's been completely crazy about getting milked and being so difficult? And yes, I have. Olivia started that way. So look, there is hope if you keep at it. Don't give up. I also have my new goat, Delight. She's been very difficult to milk, but we're working through it, so don't give up. And now Olivia's my best milker, and she's so good about being milked. Aren't ya? You know what I'm talking about, you? Once I am done milking her, sometimes she can get a little bit ornery, but we'll see what she does. Oh, you're okay. I'm just gonna clean here. Oh, you're okay. Just gonna clean the end. Okay. The chicken. Can you get her right side first? You're all right. You're all right. You're all right. Olivia. All right. Okay. That was cool what just happened. So I brought in Opal here, and Delight actually was trying to get in. That's a good sign. She has not wanted to be a part of this process at all since we started milking her. So that was good. Opal here surprised me this year and has been such a good little goat. She had 3 little babies, which honestly I wasn't expecting that. And she has been awesome at taking care of them all. And she's even the wonderful, like, most loved aunt or something, because I've seen some of the other goats sneaking in a little bit of some milk time with her, and she's just fine with it. It's funny. I've never had a goat like that. One goat in this picture doesn't belong. This is Faith's baby. Can you believe that? You're a stinker butt. Another one doesn't belong. She's letting this one nurse too. But she has been so good on the milk stand as well. At the beginning, you know, there was the wait a second, what's going on? But then she's taken to it like a champ. It's been pretty cool. Step. Please don't be difficult. This might be the most difficult to get a sample from. Oh my goodness. I think we might have to. Okay, I'm going to put on some hobbles on her. She doesn't like it that I stopped milking and now I'm messing with her. Right. All right. Okay. Okay. That was harder to do than the other ones. This is Fiona. She's a good girl too. She just has 2 kids this year. Fiona. Oh, come on, Fiona. Okay. Phew. I had to work at that one. My goodness. I really had to work at getting the milk out for her left side. I thought I had left enough after milking to get enough, but it was harder than I thought. I think there's a hair in this one. I can't see it now. So hopefully it's okay. I'm not going to go obviously digging in there to try to get it out. I don't have another vial, and she wasn't making enough milk to get any more, so hopefully this is okay. Now for my most difficult goat, Delight. She hasn't been a delight to milk. So we'll get her in and get it done, because she has gotten better, I have to say. It was pretty rough at the beginning, but let's see how she does. Yeah, you can do it. Good girl. Good girl. You can do it. Oh, good girl. I have to hobble her back legs and tie them back while I'm milking. So that's where we are now with her, and hopefully that'll get better though with time. Huh, Delight? You think so? Okay. So Delight's my other one that had 4 babies, and she has been feeding them and still producing a huge amount of milk. So I definitely have to milk her out every day. And then she starts to get antsy, even though she still has grain, but I'm hurrying. At the beginning of milking her, I had to put hobbles on her front feet and tie them forward, because she was crazy. I was thankful I had the hobbles though. Those are nice things to have on hand just in case. Still. Delight. Got it. Okay. So I have my sterile jars already. I have this set up with my filter. And I'm going to filter the milk, which actually ended up today being mostly Delight's milk. But I'm going to now strain that into here and then get the rest of the samples that I need. All right, now I'm going to take it inside, chill it, and get the samples taken out from that. If you live in a really hot climate, when you're milking your goats, you may want to consider chilling your milk as you milk, which may look different for different people and different setups and different situations. But some people will freeze, you know, those gel packets and put them in a box, and then as they milk, you know, filter that milk, get it next to those gel packs. And so as you're milking, then each jar of milk is actually being frozen or chilled, I mean, as you're actually milking. So consider that. Thankfully, we live in an area that really doesn't get that hot, and many times in the winter, you know, it's cold, so the milk is being chilled naturally as I milk. So that's one way though that you can consider chilling your milk. I'm gonna get this milk inside, chill it, and then get the sample from that. I just pulled this out of the fridge, so it is definitely cold. We'll get these samples. Okay, I have the 2 vials here. So now I just need to write the information on this, and then we're gonna get it shipped off.